Mic check, mic check, mic check. I said good morning, and what is this on SPY? Consumer prices. I just got an alert on my phone. Consumer prices rise 2.7% annually in July, which is less than expected amid tariff worries. The consumer price index was projected to increase 0.2% in July and 2.8% for a year ago on headline, and 0.3% and 3% on core. That's it. That's this whole article. Look at it's just one little paragraph. Is this whole they sent out a whole alert. This is the CNBC app. They sent out a whole alert for one paragraph. How do I get that job? This is Jeff Cox, CNBC, at Jeff Cox, CNBC.com. That's like the easiest publishing. I mean, I could publish articles like that. I didn't know you could do just one paragraph. Easy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Who we got here? We got Corey, Stephen Walker, El Messias, Olivier, Mauricio. Welcome in. Andrew, Jeremy, Ashgia, Orpheus, TKN. Good morning. Hey, let's start today. Why is this loose? Hold on. This should not be that loose. Let's start today by saying I have not built the watch list yet. It will be... I will build it. We will build it together. This session is not going to be polished at all. Obviously, things are moving right now, and I'm kind of trying to stall a little bit to see if this is going to hold before we start setting levels. But yeah, I have not built the watch list. This is going to be a really raw session. It's not going to be polished, so I'm not going to be up here just telling you what makes the list. We're going to work through it together. We are going to work through it together, and we're probably going to have to go back and edit it a couple of times. So this is SPY. We are on the 5-minute time frame right now. We got the gap up this morning, seemingly, if this sustains. Here is your news. Correction. Core CPI year over year for July, 3.1% versus a 3% estimate. That is what is causing this gap up this morning. So what we know to be true on SPY is that 389.85 is your all-time high. This is opening up. If this holds here, this is going to open up right at or just under that all-time high. So all that we have to go off of right now is your pre-market high. That's it. That's all we can go off of for the long level on SPY today. The short level, I can see the support. I think that you probably can too. I can see the support really clearly right here at 635. We got a test there. We've got a test here. We got a test here. We got a test here. A lot of those tests are happening in the pre-market and after-hour session, but one at the end of day yesterday, and then the day prior, you had an intraday support being built at 635. So I think the levels for SPY are pretty clear for us right now. So let's say long above 640 and then short below 635 for SPY. Okay, number two. Number 2. I posted the focus list, so this is where I'm pulling all of these from the day trade watch list focus list. Number 2 is Tesla. Tesla gave us a pretty decent run yesterday. I hope that you went back and watched my YouTube video from yesterday. I was in and out of Tesla 4 times, but I was expecting this to break out and go, and it did do that. And somebody said, when I was going in the 4th time, actually we were doing a Q&A session, and somebody said, Gates, I feel like you're too obsessed with Tesla today. You're doing too much on Tesla. And I could see how they would get that feeling, but I also really wanted to, in my video, my YouTube video from yesterday, I really wanted to harp on why Tesla was that setup yesterday. Why it was my top stock pick of the day yesterday. Why I decided to take 4 trades on this to try to make something happen. Because I had that many confirmations to go in on this. And if you want clarity as to what those confirmations were or are, go back and watch my YouTube video from yesterday. So Tesla is going to be a continuation idea, without a doubt. We will probably be looking for new recent highs, so long above 347. With the gap up this morning, it's really close to that price point. So we will say Tesla long above 347. Now the short level makes sense for us to go off of the break of the previous day's close, but then $1 under, given the support points. Tesla did pull all the way back, but the support point here and here at 338, and then just under $1 under the previous day's close. So we'll say short below 338. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Could Google be on the list today? It's on our focus list, my friend. We'll get there. We'll get there. Just stay patient for me. So Tesla, our comments. Let's say Tesla is breaking the pattern on the daily time frame by making higher highs. And today we are watching for higher highs. It kind of sounds repetitive, but I mean, that's exactly what we're looking for. Remember the pattern on the daily for Tesla. I gave this to you on Sunday, right? This big ass, sorry for cussing, but this big pattern here that I don't know what you want to call it. I'm hesitant to call it a bull pennant, but recently it would be a bull pennant, but then it sold off into that formation. So I don't know, just some sort of pennant. Who really cares if it's bullish or bearish? It's breaking out. It's making higher highs. So you see why we are going to be looking for higher highs from here. I mean, I really honestly would not be surprised to see Tesla get to 400 sometime really soon, as long as this move sustains. So we're going to be watching for a continuation breakout from that pattern on Tesla, and more follow through from here. AMD. Next one on our focus list. Does this deserve to be on the watch list? I thought that maybe it has opportunity. Let me clean this up some. I thought maybe it had some opportunity given yesterday's run. This is a really solid run. So congrats to anybody that traded that and took that. Your resistance is around 178 to 179. The problem is it pulled all the way back, kind of like Tesla, but now it's not opening up near 178. And so the question here is like, well, is this high probability from here, or are there just too many resistance points overhead? You know what I mean? So if we take this trade from here, there's potential resistance there, resistance here, and then again, resistance there. And it's not until we get to 179 that this then has clean and clear room to run. You see that? So this is not as quality of a setup as something like Tesla, and Tesla wouldn't be either if it didn't gap up as far as it did right now. And, we may still remove it from the watch list depending on if this move doesn't sustain or not. So AMD, I'm just going to say long idea. Man, do we take advantage of that? Let's see, percentage-wise from where it's at up to that price point is almost 2%. So there's two ways we can run this. We can be really aggressive on this and say long at 175, or we can wait for it to get to 178 and just say, let's be a lot more conservative here. Take a trade at 178. Or we could split the difference, I suppose. Dang, what do we do with this? Tell you what, we're going to come back to AMD. We'll put AMD down here as a placeholder. We'll say long over 176. So actually 175.5. I just want to go I want to go a little bit off of where it's currently trading at just to get over, for one, this peak of resistance here. It's not much, but it is there. And just use it as a placeholder for right now. We may wind up replacing AMD with something else. Okay, Google. Next one on our focus list. Very nice. So Google gave us yesterday something known as an inside day. Remember the shape up here, the ascending triangle shape up. It's kind of messy, not truly an ascending triangle, but you do have a static line of resistance up at 198. And we were trading this last Friday for the break of 198, and I think my contracts went 150%. And I told the team yesterday, the trade on Google that we took could have been like a $20,000 day for me. And I'm not exaggerating. It really, had I held through on everything all the way through, I think we would have been close to making 20 grand there. So it gave us an inside day. This is something. So yesterday, it doesn't give us a higher high, but it does not give us a lower low. It does close above the 200 hold number, and it does establish the old resistance here as new support there. And this is great for us for a continuation, because even though it didn't give us a continuation, it validated the support below, telling us that this wants to continue. And so now we have a base of support for the next leg up. So Google, we love this setup. This may be our top pick of the day. Long above 202.5 is what it's looking like for the continuation top side. I do not care to take this short. There's too much support below. You've got the pre-market, you got yesterday's high of day and your pre-market high as potential support at 201. Then you've got, 201 and a half. Then you've got the previous day's close, which is going to be potential support at 201. Then you've got the $200 hold number just below that. Then you've got yesterday's low of day below that, and you've got the prior resistance flipped to new support below that. So because there's so much support below, we don't really want to go short on this, because what would be, if we're going short, what's our profit margin? We don't know. Right? We don't know. I got like a dog hair or something on my glasses. So we want to look for the break of 202.5. We just want to look for higher highs. We don't really care to take this short. We only want to go long if it's going to give us that continuation. So Google, long above 202.5, on watch for a move. And by the way, this is not far off from your all-time highs, so it can get there. So we're going to say it's on watch for a move towards the all-time highs, following the morning gap up, and looking for higher highs after the break of resistance on the daily. There you go. That's it. So Google, looking for a break of 202. This may very well be our top pick of the day. This is a really nice setup. It had momentum before. It gave us an inside day. Can it give us momentum again? Fantastic. NVIDIA, next one. Let's see where this is at. Okay, so remember my analysis that I gave you on Sunday, right? I posted all these charts for you for free, and hopefully you went and reviewed them, and I made a whole YouTube video on it, and I made a Instagram carousel on it, and I made a reel on it and posted on YouTube. I put this information out for your benefit. So NVIDIA, it is now in play for what we were looking for originally, which is just going to be a break of 184. And by the way, By the way, put this stuff in your arsenal. Make a mental note of this. Make a physical note of this if you have to. Screenshot this stuff, print it out, and put it on the side of your computer screen. Because, let me show you, this formation looks strangely familiar, doesn't it? No? Yes? No? Let's go back. Let's go to Google. Now let's take a screenshot here of Google. Okay. Now let's pull this back and go to NVIDIA. This is your setup right now on NVIDIA. Look, you've got a test of a resistance, a pullback, and then a test of resistance. Now look at it. This is Google on the right. You got a test of resistance, a pullback, test of resistance. What? Don't these two look so familiar? This is NVIDIA on the left. This is Google, Googl. It's the same exact setup, but NVIDIA offers us something a little different, which is that it's at the all-time highs. So Google, while it may go today, NVIDIA's at the all-time highs and has no resistance overhead until this gets to $200. These two setups, we might go with NVIDIA. This might be NVIDIA might be our top pick of the day. I mean, both of them are pretty good, but I think NVIDIA might offer us more just because it's at the all-time highs. So 5-minute time frame, NVIDIA, I mean, we don't need to change anything here from our trading plan that I put out on Sunday. We look for the break of $184. 184. And again, we do not care. We don't care to take this short. Okay, just because we can set a short level does not mean we have to. Why would we? You know, if you're looking at this price action here, underneath 184, do you really want to be a part of any of this? I mean, look at how choppy and messy and you know, and this is not a bearish setup anyways. It's at the all-time highs. So why are you trying to go short at the all-time highs? It makes no sense. Why would you try to go short when there's so much support and chop in this whole area? You know, we don't want to trade here. No. Where do we want to trade? We want to trade here. We want to trade when there's no resistance. Mental notes, my friends. This is course quality content here. Long idea above 184. So we'll write it down. NVIDIA, long above 184. And we are going to say just looking for a break of the resistance. Excuse me. Over the past few trading days. And a move into the all-time highs. Just looking for a break of the resistance over the past few trading days, which is at 184, and a move into the all-time highs. We don't care to take this short. We do not care to take this short. Okay. Next, by the way, everybody, welcome in, welcome in. Next one on the list is going to be Apple. Apple. Is this something that could possibly give us a continuation today? Yes, definitely. Apple, it's been a recent runner. If we go back to the daily, remember there was some news about a, oh gosh, I don't remember the exact number. Was it $100 billion investment into the United States or something like that? Where was that news? Anyways, I can't find it right now. Okay, it doesn't matter. Apple's running off of news, right? We see the volume here. You see the big move. It has not given us a higher high. Yesterday was also an inside day, so much like what? Google, right? You got an inside day yesterday where we did not get a higher high, and we did not get a lower low. Well, partially because this move was so massive. So naturally, after a big move like this, you do want to see a pullback. You do want to see some consolidation. You don't want to see it sell off, but you do want to see some sort of chill. So we're going to be looking for Apple, not higher highs necessarily at 231. We know that that's the resistance. What do we have here? Well, if we connect this peak down to the tops of these candles, look at what we've got. All right, let's delete this line and zoom out. Now we've got a solid downtrend trend line, and we know that this stock is downtrending because it's making what? Lower high, lower high, lower high. So at the moment that Apple makes a higher high, which is, what is this, 229.5, the moment that Apple makes a higher high, the downtrend is done. The downtrend is done. It should start uptrending at that time. So Apple, I like this as a long idea today above 229.5. If you really wanted to be aggressive on this, you could go long at 229. That's also fine. I mean, I see the majority of this resistance rejecting at 229. So 229 works. Just keep in mind, if you're going to do that, there is potential resistance at 229.5. In fact, I might actually set that level because I don't mind going aggressive on something that has a positive reaction to a news catalyst behind it. So yeah, Apple, we're going to go 229 on this. Apple, long over 229. And for this one, we're going to say on watch for a break of the downtrend trend line, or looking for a break of the I'm just going to abbreviate, downtrend trend line and the continuation run following the morning gap up and the recent news catalyst. So team, for those of you that are members of my Discord server, because this is a public stream right now, for those of you that are members of my Discord server, I don't know if you actually read these comments that I type up, but they will tell you exactly why the stocks are on the watch list. And people ask me, okay, Gates, well, you trade live, right? Do you give me typed alerts? Yeah, this is it. This whole watch list is your typed alerts. I'm saying Apple long above 229. What do you think you're going to do? Go long above 229 when that breaks 229. So you don't take the trade. If I say like Apple long above 229, I'm not saying Apple's bullish. I know it's going to run. Go long right at the open because it will break 229. That's not what I'm saying at all. When I say Apple long above 229, I'm saying Apple, we're looking to take it long. We're looking to buy the stock if it breaks 229. So all that this watch list, all that this is it's a game plan. It's a trading plan, but it's a series of if-then statements. So if Apple breaks 229, then I take the trade. If Apple opens up and sells off immediately, I'm not taking the trade there. Hello? Right? And it doesn't mean that I'm wrong either, because I can't tell a future. Nobody can. So I'm not saying, I'm so bullish on Apple. Apple's going to, let's go long on this. I'm saying if it gives us confirmation, then we take the trade. And because I can't stand when I post this free stuff, analysis and charts and things like that, and then people come back the next day and they say, well, you were bearish on SPY, but it ran. I'm like, I wasn't bearish. I mean, maybe I was looking for a continuation sell-off, and it didn't happen, but guess what? We adjust. That's what we do as traders, right? Do you think everybody's right all the time? I'm not trying to be right. I'm just trying to create a plan. That's it. So don't buy under assumptions is what I'm getting at. Always wait for confirmations. Okay, that's our full focus list. So we can roll through our list here and see if there's anything that looks interesting. Somebody said, what about Meta? For me, Meta, there's nothing here. This is really, really choppy following the earnings report. There will be something there eventually, but I don't have any interest in taking any trades on Meta until this gets back up to the all-time high or until this gets back down to the gap area. So given where Meta is at currently, though it probably did gap up this morning. But given where it's at currently, there's an even amount of space to the resistance and the support. And there's nothing about that that's high probability. This is a 50-50 shot, in my opinion, where this goes from here, right? I mean, we can see even from where it's at. From there up to the resistance versus from it's a little closer to the resistance than the support. But it's not like NVIDIA. You know, NVIDIA is right at the resistance, boom, take the trade and we run it. That's not the case for Meta. It needs more time. So there's nothing here on Meta. Somebody's asking about Microsoft. Microsoft is so choppy right now. There's nothing here either. This has just been pulling back. I know that there's a little gap below, which is basically already filled. So that gap is pretty non-existent now. You do have resistance at 530. I mean, it's holding here and establishing support. So maybe you can look for a move back up topside. But again, I wouldn't even be interested in this until it gets above 530. And there's nothing here that's telling me that this is going to break 530 today. It's not right at the resistance. It's got more room to run. There's still resistance from the previous day's high. Everything else is gapped up pretty good, and Microsoft's not. So, I mean, you know, trade your plan if you've got something different, but there's better setups out there. There's better setups. For those of you asking me about these watch list stocks and these trigger levels that you know you might see potential in some of these other names, or how do we set these trigger levels? I want you to think about maybe taking the Higher Spartan class with me. It's next week. I actually have a couple of spots. This is going to be a shameless plug, but I've got a couple of spots open. I've got a couple of spots filled and a couple of spots open. I've already notified the wait listers. I will be running a Higher Spartan class next week, and what it is sessions just like this. It's Zoom screen share sessions with me. We will go live in the morning just like this before market open. We're going to set levels. You're going to set levels. I'll give you feedback on your levels and let you know if you're right or wrong, or how we can adjust or tighten those up or make them a little more accurate. Then we go live in the afternoon after the market closes, and we'll do trade reviews. So based on all the trades that I took, I'll review all my trades with you. I'll give you a chance to review your trades with me. I'll give you constructive criticism based on your trades and try to help you identify not only your weaknesses, but also some strengths. And then we jump into watch list building and choosing stocks that have high probability. So when this focus list comes out, you know, these stocks are chosen based on a really specific criteria. And you get to learn what that criteria is. So, you know, what in my mind, what justifies a high probability setup in my eyes is what you're going to learn through the duration of that class. And naturally, any questions that you have will get answered as well. So if you're interested, shoot me a message. You can message me on Discord. You can message me on Instagram. But I have a couple of spots open. The class starts next week, Sunday, August 17th. We'll run it from the 17th to the 22nd. So now all next week, every single day, Monday through Friday, Sunday through Friday. Okay, INTC gap up this morning. Looks like it had a positive reaction to a news catalyst. I think there was some stuff going on with these chips and China and new regulation changes and things like that. Above INTC at 21.6 is a gap to be filled up to 22.6. With the gap up this morning, I saw this today. With the gap up this morning, I do like INTC as a long idea above 21.6. This is one that I'm going to be more specific on when I'm setting my level because of how cheap it is. And with it trading close to that resistance, I want to make sure that I get a true higher high above yesterday's high of day. So I am going to put this on the side chart list. It's not a super popular name, but I think it does offer, for one, variation, and two, some opportunity. So let's keep rolling through and see what else is gapped up and if anything looks pretty interesting for us. NVIDIA right at 184. Okay, so hopefully that doesn't pull back too much further. We want it to stay. We want NVIDIA to stay up there. Netflix, we're not messing with that. Usually the contracts for Netflix They're not that great. It used to be, Netflix used to be a really great name to trade. And then I think what happened is it got too expensive. Traders kind of shy away from it. Amazon looks good for a potential downtrend trend line break, but that doesn't happen until 224. And then you've got a gap. If it can get to, this is tough because I think if it can get to 224, it probably goes to 226. But then the better setup is above 226 for that gap fill. So what I'm going to do is just set alerts on Amazon, and we're going to let this go without us today. If it runs, I don't see this going from here to break 224 to break 226 to fill the gap. So if this runs today, we're going to let it go. And that will set us up better for tomorrow, for a trade for tomorrow, for a gap fill. AMD, man, I don't think this is a good. I'm going back and forth on this. I don't think that this is a good setup, but AMD had such a nice run yesterday that I do want to keep it on the list because of the potential for this to run. It's not harming us right now to leave it on, so I will leave it on, but I'm just letting you know AMD is probably my least favorite setup out of everything that we have on the list right now. Okay, let's keep rolling through. We have a lot of good trade ideas today. NVIDIA is probably going to be our top stock pick of the day. But then we've got a really nice setup on Google for a possible continuation. So we like Google. And then we really like Tesla as well for a possible continuation. Apple doesn't look that bad either, but I think that the other names offer us something that, you know, Tesla is like a fresh breakout. Google is also a fresh breakout. Apple has kind of been running. It's made the biggest move, so I would say those other setups come before Apple. But the trade plan today will be to trade what moves. So remember that the watch list is built on a series of if-then statements. If the stock breaks the level, then we take the trade. If not, then there's no trade, okay? SPY, so just under, this is good. This is good. We want this to happen. So we got the gap up, right? But we didn't get the break of 640, which is perfect. And we got the pullback. This is also really good. So what we want to see is this kind of stagnate into the into the open, and then that way all we have to look for, because there's an ebb and flow in the market, right? It's very rare that stocks will just move in a linear fashion. There's always an ebb and flow. So you got your ebb, and then your flow is the pullback, and then you're looking for the next leg up. So this is great that we're already getting the pullback in the pre-market. I love this. I love this, love this, love this. Looks really good for us to be able to, because it doesn't feel like, you know, if this was just straight gapped up into the open, where's so you got the ebb, now where's your flow, right? So the expected move on a straight gap up would be an opening pullback. But because this formation, this structure is already happening in the pre-market, the only thing we need to look for at the open is going to be the continuation. Another thing to add to your arsenal, right? Hope you're making notes. All right, that's it for our watch list. We're not going to put anything else on here. So let's review our levels and make sure everything's good. By the way, to everybody that joined in this morning, thank you. I hope that these live streams help you out. So AMD, lowest quality setup, long above 175.5. That's fine. I know I'm going aggressive with the long level there. I want to make it clear the only reason I'm doing that is because of yesterday's run. But I'm not a big fan of the total retracement. However, we are seeing a slight gap up this morning. So we'll see if that even sustains and gives us any sort of continuation. INTC over 21.6. We're looking for the gap fill top side and the continuation run following yesterday's peak. We've got Apple over 229. We're going to be looking for a break of the downtrend trend line. I deleted it, but just know it's there. We want to see higher highs. You do have potential resistance about 50 cents ahead of the current set trigger level. So if you want to be a little more conservative on this, go ahead and move your trigger level up to 229.5. We've got NVIDIA as a long idea above 184, which is pulling back now. So this may not be our top stock pick of the day. Is there news on here? What is causing this to sell off? Announces they have signed an agreement to license, sell, and support Omniverse technology embedded in an ANSYS simulation solutions. I don't know what any of that means. Integrates NVIDIA Omniverse capabilities into its products, starting with autonomy and computational fluid dynamics, CFD solutions, delivering simplified data prep, what the hell is that? Interoperability. I have to look that up. I don't know what that means. Interoperability, okay, and access to the Omniverse ecosystem. Interoperability. Does that mean it operates inside of? That's what I would guess. Interoperability. That's a mouthful. All right, whatever. I mean, it's selling off. I'm going to leave it on the list. It's still long above 184. Maybe this bounces and recovers before the open. Google, but this probably won't be our top stock pick of the day now because it's pulling back. Google still looks good for the continuation over 202.5, and then we've got Tesla above the resistance from yesterday, which is 347, which we can actually move down. We can be a little aggressive with this. 346.5. So 347, 346.5, either one of those levels works. And then we've got SPY, long idea above 640. Okay, that is it. That's our full watch list. So we will be trading live today. If you'd like to attend the live trading and you're new to the server, this is how you're going to navigate there. It doesn't happen here on YouTube because there's like a 15-second delay that I can't control. So the way you're going to navigate to it is go to the Discord server, scroll all the way down, bottom left-hand side of the server. You're going to see a channel called, first of all, voice channels, heading. Make sure that channel is heading's expanded. And then you're going to see the arena. You'll see people piled in already here, a bunch of people repping the STS tag. Love to see it. Join the arena. That is where we will conduct the live trading. I'll be in there in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'll meet you there in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get this watch list posted for everybody, and good luck today. Top pick of the day, it's going to be between Tesla and Google. I'd be all right trading Apple if that one runs as well. NVIDIA, it's a good setup if it can get back to 184. If not, there's nothing there. All right, thank you for your time. Good luck. Go make some money. And if you do make money off of this, send me a message later because I would love to feature you on my Instagram story when we absolutely shred the market and make a bunch of dollars. All right, love you all. Thank you for your time.